How you going, guys? In this video we're going to show you how we machine this Torrington bearing into a 304 Holden V8. Okay, here we have the block set up in the machine. We're using a right angle plate and just have a bolted to that. We've plocked it in all square along here, and now we're just plocked into the main tunnel to set up the block ready for cutting underneath. Now I just machined up a collar to go onto the existing boring machine, just so I can mount this phasing head on there, and that way I can use this to cut outwards and machine this bottom section, taking a nice thin cut. I also use this for recesses on diesel blocks and different things, but yeah, it's a good thing. Alright, we're just taking our first test cut, and you can see it's just cleaned up the block there. So we're looking at taking a mil off this surface here, so you can still run the bearing with no modifications. Alright, we have the crankshaft now in the machine. Now it's time to machine this side out to take the bearing. Now, to get a rough idea where to start, we've measured the inside of the bearing. It's 66 mil and the journal's 61. So we've got 5 mil difference. So gently touch the tool on, just off the bearing surface here, and then we'll wind it out 3 mil just to give us a little bit of extra clearance. Alright, let's check it in the block. Now I'll just make sure all the journals are as clean as they can be. We don't want to get any metal in there. Put some oil in here. Get this crank in and check it. Now I just use some gauge blocks, and I use them just to push down between the crank and the block, just to give me an idea of just how much I've taken off. Then we can start removing more material until we get it the right size. Alright, I can just get 3.7 mil in there, and that's just a nice fit. So we've measured the bearing, we're looking for around 4.7 mil. Alright, we've machined this into within 10th thou. Now we're going to machine this ledge in here where this bearing's going to sit on, just so it clips in there nicely. Alright, just check this bearing. Clips on there nicely. We've got clearance around the outside, so it's not going to touch. Alright, now try it in the block. Alright, we took that last 15th thou off and we've managed to get the crank in the block with the bearing and the thrust bearing in there. Now we'll just check the end float. I'll just wriggle the crank back and forth so we can have a look and see how much clearance we got. And about 0.1 of a mil, so we're looking at 4th thou. So that's just right on the money where we wanted it. So this one is done. Now this kind of application is only for really drag use. It's for people that are launching off the start line that are just, the crankshafts are seeing excessive forces coming from the rear of the engine, and it's just chewing up the standard bearings. It's just not holding up to the task. Now this Torrington bearing that we've fitted here takes all the load coming from the rear of the engine, and the crankshaft floats on that 4th thou that we measured there. So now this should hold up a lot longer than what the standard bearing ever did, and it should be a good thing. If you got any value from the video, just like it. If you want to see more content of similar things of machining around this engine shop, just subscribe. Alright, that's Scott from E&G CNC, and that's a wrap.